A cafe conversation. It's a cafe conversation in the ladies' room. 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 A cafe conversation in the ladies' room.
Welcome back to Cafe Conversations with Bella Reese and Juicy. What's up, girl? I see you got on your Chucks and Pearls today.
Absolutely, I
I
represent when
feel
I
bad.
can.
Don't kill me, ladies. Don't kill me. I forgot. It's just been quite a day for me. It really has. Can't you see? I'm just all over the place. But that's
But
okay.
you act like it's not quite a day for me, and I remembered.
What happened to you, girl? Okay. Tell me about it.
I'm just in my feelings, but I'm good.
I want to be here for you.
I know.
I want to be here for you.
After the show.
What happened? After the show? Oh, it's like that? Oh, we really need to go to a cafe after the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Well, welcome back. You know, it's Thursday night, and of course, Thursday night is ladies' night at the cafe. Yes, we're going to have a good time in here tonight, okay? And we got guests with us in-house. I'm so excited. We haven't had a guest in-house in a minute, okay?
Yes,
we haven't had a guest
COVID.
in-house. Yes.
Everybody's scared.
We are so happy to have another.
We ain't mad at them, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're so happy to have another beautiful sister with us today. We'd like to introduce to you our guest for tonight, Miss Sabrina Irene Wright. Welcome into the cafe.
Thank you.
So happy you made it. Yes. And Miss Wright is a certified abundant life coach, mental health social worker. Ooh, she gonna read us.
She got cred.
She gonna read us tonight. That's what
She
I'm
gonna read
saying.
us.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Because
all
we got
that.
problems, right?
You know. Well, I mean, some of the conversation tonight will probably be about our problems.
Oh,
so.
Lord.
That's okay. We all
It's
got
okay.
problems.
We all got problems.
There you go. That's why we're here and stuff. But we'd like to welcome everybody back. We hope you got through the snowstorm
Of life.
Man, 4 feet. 4 feet. 4 feet. We dug out yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was upsetting. It was upsetting.
I feel like I was in
It
a
made
fight.
me eat a piece of cake. Okay,
I'm not even going there.
Yeah, and I'm admitting we're in week 1, okay, of the challenge. Okay, well, not the challenge, the initiative. We're week 1 of the initiative.
Healthy eating, healthy lifestyle.
Healthy lifestyle,
Yes.
right? The Metamorphosis Healthy Lifestyle Initiative. We're in week 1, and girl, it's been kind of difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So I baked this chocolate Irish cream cake. Okay, and I'm a baker. So I do all kinds of stuff. But I was trying a new recipe, chocolate Irish cream. Girl, and that cake sat on the table and it was calling me. It was like, Bella. Okay, and I was like, no, I can't do it. It was like, Bella, come, Bella.
Hollywood is calling her.
Right, and it was sort of like a Rapunzel moment, you know, how the prince was like, Rapunzel, let down your hair. It was like, Bella, bring a plate, you know, something like that.
Get a slice.
Right, you know, and I did. So, ladies, I'm sorry.
She fell short.
I fell short,
the glory.
and I'm admitting it. But I did post what my breakfast was today. You know, and
I did too.
Yeah, but lunch I fell short again. I did. Okay.
And y'all
so
know
I
we was
tried.
together, but I ain't saying nothing.
And stuff. But no. I said I was gonna be open. I said I was gonna be open about the situation.
I'm open.
And everything like that. No,
I'm open. I'm open to some things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You tell it.
I had chicken wingettes and some sweet potato fries. I had sweet potato fries
For
for
the
the first
first time.
I was like, wow,
Pretty good.
these are they were really good. I was like, all I needed was some powdered sugar. Okay, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Listen, okay, and this is exactly why we have the group because I need that support, not to have
Certain things.
that sugar and I have a major sweet tooth, especially. But I did have iced tea today, y'all. I only had one though. I didn't have iced tea 3 times today. I only
Joe's
had
iced
one.
tea.
Joe's iced tea. It was 250 calories. And according to MyFitnessPal, I only had 36 calories left for the day. So I'm going to indulge in water. It's going to be fine because if I just go to sleep, then I won't worry about eating. Okay? But tomorrow, man. Or I might just go ahead and have one of those salads I made last night. Did you see my salad?
I saw your salad.
Wasn't
it was
it
looking
sexy?
nice. Yes,
Ooh,
it
girl.
was.
Let me tell you, I
It
did
was
a
good.
spinach, kale, and arugula salad, and it had Granny Smith
Mango.
apples and mango and pecans,
Pecans.
and a strawberry vinaigrette dressing. I was so happy sitting on my bed with my 20 ounces of water and my salad.
I'm glad that
and
makes
it
you
was so
happy
good.
because
No, and I'm gonna tell you why it made me happy because I didn't sleep heavy. I didn't sleep heavy. So that gave me, I felt good. I wasn't too heavy. I didn't have to get up during the
Right.
night to go to the bathroom and all that kind of stuff.
miserable feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where if I would have had, some oxtails, rice, and beans last night with some bread and butter on the side
you would've had a
and
Snicker?
a Coca-Cola. A Snicker.
you had a Snicker.
I don't know. Chocolate makes you happy, doesn't it?
Yeah. it
Okay.
does. I love chocolate. All
Yeah,
kinds
I
of
love chocolate too. I try to
Sharice.
get away from it. I had to get away from it. But we're going to
Okay,
move on. We're going
we
to
gotta
move on.
move on.
But for all of you who started, with us, the challenge this week, welcome, welcome, welcome. Those of you who have not checked us out on the challenge page, we invite you to subscribe to the Metamorphosis healthy initiative, okay, healthy living initiative, okay, where we're not just doing fad dieting, we're changing our lives so we can live healthy lifestyles.
Right.
So we want to do more than just lose a couple of pounds so that we can hit the beach, in sexy, bathing suits, and then after sexy bathing suit season, we going back to Santa Claus suits. No, we're not doing that.
Right.
We want it to, last
Yeah.
over our lifetimes and like that, so we can wear them sexy bathing suits all year round. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bye. Girl, bye.
All right. Well, tonight we're gonna get started. Of course, one last thing before we get the show started. Our Everybody Eats project is on the road as usual. Okay, we are here to help anyone with an emergency need who might need food or assistance with anything else. Please don't hesitate to call us. Okay, we service the Poconos and surrounding areas. You can reach us by phone 570-223-4503, or you can meet us you can reach us through our Facebook page, the Ladies Room Everybody Eats Project. Okay, but we're here for you. Of course, a little love goes a long way, and we got a lot for you. So don't hesitate to call us and everything. Now, let's get to the good stuff.
The good stuff is
All right. So tonight's show, we're going to talk about trauma and getting past that trauma so that we can go on and live, live our best life, But sometimes, unfortunately, we go through things and it doesn't happen like that. So I got a little something I want to give you guys, and then we'll open up the conversation for all of you and for all of us so that we can talk about how we can get past this. Tonight's topic is called Let Go and Let God. Everyone at some point in their life has experienced some sort of pain. For some, that pain, whether emotional or physical, has caused them to put life on pause, continuously reliving the stories, situations, circumstances, injuries, whatever the source of their pain was that has changed their lives, to feel and believe that they can't ever get past them. They become so deeply rooted into our souls that it affects our day to day, even without us realizing how much it does. Quite often, you're finding yourself thinking too much about the past or obsessing over upsetting memories, having difficulty getting over it. And sorry, having difficulty getting over it and happily living in the present. Tonight, we explore some ways to heal from hurts, to focus on growth and forward momentum. Oh my goodness, I'm tongue tied today, y'all. I'm
Don't
sorry.
be tongue-tied.
All right. If we get stuck in thinking about what should have been, we can become immobilized in painful feelings and memories, missing out on the present. Ladies, gentlemen, let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
First and foremost, okay? I I understand. I understand. We have situations that affect our lives to the point where sometimes you're unable to get past it. You know, for some people it's been marriages. You know, for other people it's been traumatic injuries, you know, situations. For some people, I
death.
know death, exactly. I know people in my line of work, I've met many women who were victims of rape and sexual assault. And they're survivors. But the experience has made a drastic change in who they are and how they go about life, you know, and it's somewhat stopped them in their tracks from being able to live a good life or be able to live a life that they enjoy because they're stuck on what happened and can't get past it, and it hurts.
Right.
It hurts, you know, and they get involved in the pain. So let's talk a little bit first of all about pain. You know what I'm saying? And if pain really, really makes us stronger, you know, people say pain only
What
makes
don't
you
kill
stronger,
you makes you
right?
stronger.
Exactly. What doesn't kill you makes you
you stronger.
stronger. And I'm wondering, and I'm not exactly sure if that's true, because if it hurts, it hurts, and I don't see how. If I'm hurting, that's giving me strength.
Right.
You know, I would think sometimes that pain will make you weaker. And weaker because you're so busy concentrating on how much it's going to hurt you or how much it's hurting you or how much it did hurt you that you can't think past that to
Well-
move on to the next thing.
Pain weakens you, but once you get through it, apparently is where it seems to make you stronger.
Right.
So you weaken in pain, in time of pain, but it's like the old saying says, it doesn't kill you. So as long as it's not killing you, it's making you stronger. That's probably why that saying is, I don't know, but that's where I get it from. So, you know, I've always been a person to work through my pain very well without a lot of help. I do it spiritually. And it makes me stronger because now, as I move forward, getting into something else, I don't have the same pain. I have a bigger resistance to the pain.
Right.
And then I move on from that and I'm stronger again. And I just keep getting stronger and stronger. Like a lot of people feel like, which is morbid to say, but that I handled death very well. Because I've told myself many, 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 many times about the fact that it's going to happen. It happens to us all. I talk about it at home. I talk about it happening to me. I talk about it happening to my, you know, even my kids, God
Right.
forbid. But, you know, that's why I have life insurance for everybody, you know, because it's a horrible, horrible feeling. But if you're a little bit prepared mentally, you tend to handle it a little bit better. So that's where that strength comes from, getting through it and then being stronger. But you're weak when it's going on, you know. That pain is something terrible.
I think I'm going to give it to Sabrina for a moment, and then I'm going to throw something out there,
Okay.
you know.
And don't forget.
Don't forget, but
So yes, I definitely agree that being able to come through the pain is what will make us stronger. And to come through it, we have to first address the pain. Like I believe that, and what I've seen, some people try to, and what I've done in the past, some people try to ignore it. And whatever
That's
you
true.
ignore, you can't heal.
Right.
So, in order to start the healing process of being able to become stronger through
Absolutely.
the pain, we have to first address and acknowledge that the pain is there
Absolutely.
Right.
in the beginning. So yeah.
I like that.
I
I
think
like
that's
that, which kind of falls
that's
into.
probably why I talk so much.
Oh,
Cause I be talking through my I be talking through my pain, girl.
it's all good, girl.
That's good.
It's all
Thank you.
good.
That's good.
No,
I only,
really,
I only
right?
stopped
It's good to
listening
talk it
halfway
out. You
through,
gotta
but
get
it's
it
all
out.
good. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. But I'm glad you said that. Because this syndrome of feeling pain and holding on to that pain and not being able to move forward is known as rumination. Okay, and it's sort of like it's a habit. Okay, and I'm gonna read. When I looked it up, this is what it said. It
It gave you an
compared it.
example?
Yeah, it gave me an example, and the example it gave me was it's like binge watching bad movies on Netflix. Okay, and what happens is you can't let go of the past, and you just keep replaying the situation
sad
over
stories.
and over.
Right.
Yeah, not I mean just the scenario, whatever it is that has you stopped.
Right.
You just keep replaying it over and over again, and you get past it, and then you still end up hitting a wall because it comes back one more time, and now you're back. It's like taking two steps forward and one step back.
Right.
You know, or one step forward, two steps back. So the more we relive that situation, the more it hurts. The more it hurts. And my question to you, Sabrina, was when in working with your clients, okay, when they're coming to you with a traumatic situation that they're trying to get over, to get to get past and all like that, what is your approach, to that situation? And I heard you say, for them to be able to address and say, this is what's hurting me.
Right.
To be able to identify it. This is what's hurting me. This is your question, or what is your next question after that once they've identified it?
Okay. So I typically let them, talk it out, and as they continue to talk, it's a level of processing, and then I take what they say, and we look at what the truth is and what's false, because sometimes going through traumatic experiences and we're reliving those thoughts and feelings, and we're reliving that in the present moment when it's not happening right now. So a lot of times they're in the past of what happened and what this person did and what that person did, and everything that caused them pain. So I look at that and I say, yes, and you got through it. And but today you're okay. Today you were able to, get past it. So we're not there anymore. So I try to redirect them into thinking more present minded. And not that I minimize, their past experiences or anything like that, but I try to bring them back to the present, bring them back to
Stay in
their
reality.
goals that they're working towards. Because if we keep looking behind us, we're not going to be able to move, forward.
Right.
So I try to get them to look at where they are now and to look at where they want to go, because my clients tell me what their goals are.
Right.
And my job is to get them from point A to point B.
Right.
So we can't stay in the past. We address it. We acknowledge that the pain happened, and you got through it, and you're okay. And now we have to look at what is it going to take for us. What is it going to take for us to get to where you want to go? So we can't,
Gotcha.
we can't stay in the past. We can we can be in the present and create our future.
So so what makes a person who's in not necessarily physical pain, it's a mental pain, I guess, if it's not a physical thing. Um, how do you gear them towards making themselves happy? You just talk about happy things, or you talk about asking them what makes them happy so that they can do those things to move past that painful mental anguish they're going through?
Right. So yeah, it looks different for everyone. Everyone has different things that makes them happy. Some people don't really know what makes them happy. So
Right.
for those that don't really know, I encourage them to try new things, to do some things that maybe they've wanted to do, but never actually did it. So they can have
Scared or
right.
whatever.
So they can have new experiences. So yes, it's definitely looking at what is it that what is it that brings you fulfillment? What is it that you just love doing? Focus more on incorporating those things into life, into your everyday.
Do you feel that people can truly heal completely from their
Trauma.
trauma, from their experiences? You know, and I'm not minimizing death, because for some people, death is, I know if I lost one of my children, I couldn't, I it's hard for me to even breathe, to even talk about it.
Yeah.
The idea of one of my kids not being with me.
Right.
So I'm not in any way minimizing death, or the loss of a loved one. But what if you're still living in your trauma? You understand what I'm saying? And when I say still living in your trauma, you know, I I'm a survivor. Okay, I'm a rape and sexual assault survivor, and it's taking me years for me to get past that situation and say, okay, I cannot blame every man that I meet for what that person did to me. You know what I'm saying? I cannot blame everybody around me for not being there to stop him. I cannot blame. But I do tend to find that I'm aggressive in my own way. In my head, that situation, it still happens. I still dream about it. I have nightmares about it. I have, it was so much for me that I tried to commit suicide over it. And then when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was terrified. I didn't want a daughter, and so when she was born, I cried. I've told this story to quite a few people, because the one thing I hope is that, like, my story will help someone else, and this has kind of been my lifelong mission, and what I've been doing for the last 20 something years is helping women through those kind of traumatic experiences, specifically sexual assault survivors. When how do you, and sometimes I feel like I'm never gonna get through it. It's
You
never
did.
gonna go away.
You already did.
Right.
I know I did, but it still haunts me at night. What do you tell that person that's going, I don't want to sleep because I see it in my head? Or how we talk about phantom pain. If someone loses a limb, they can still feel pain on the side where that limb would be, even though that limb is not there. That that phantom pain that you still feel from what happened to you, how do you address that? If you even can. And I know it's a mental anxiety. It actually causes PTSD. I looked into some research about the effects of mental anxiety and stuff that arises from going through a trauma, and when they're trying to get through it. And the thing is, they literally go through stages of PTSD, or I should say we, because I did it too. go through stages of PTSD. And the funny part was, and I'll read it here. It says that it was a study that was done by the New York Times on neuroscience. It said the brain handles negative and positive information differently. Negative experiences require more thinking and thus are processed more thoroughly. This causes our brains to become better at remembering adverse events, and this is why we hold on to them. You know what I'm saying? But the brain becomes somewhat disorganized and overwhelmed because of the trauma. While the body goes into a survival mode and shuts down the higher reasoning and language structures of the brain, the result of the metabolic shutdown is profound imprinted stress response. So we go into stress responses to what we're remembering happens, or happened during that situation or like that. And even if they're going through a traumatic experience now, having to go back to a place, there's like euphoria about a certain smell, or maybe something you see or something that was said. You know what I'm saying? That kind of triggers something in you. How do you address that? What do you say to that person?
Okay, so yeah,
That was a lot.
I was about to say, I was like, wow, that was quite a
'Cause
mouthful.
I don't want to lose your train of thought
I know, you
either,
good.
but everything that you said, I've been through. So I've been abused sexually. I've been through a traumatic experience where my husband lost a limb and he has phantom pain. I've been through the loss of a child. My husband lost his first daughter, which she was 32 when she passed. I met her when she was 10. So she was in the family. you know. So it was like losing. We watched her suffer 1 year before she died. I've lost my parents in their 40s. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah,
So
it is.
you can
And what
you
kind
can
of
begin
advice?
your story by saying, how do you get people through these things? But I definitely have come through it all, and I don't dream about anything like those things. I do talk about them. I always talk about them because that's what gets me through it.
Yeah.
So, and I do help others with different situations by talking, making them talk, talking to them, giving them suggestions, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
have night terrors.
nobody gives me any.
Yeah.
Nobody gives me any
I
suggestions.
still
but
have night terrors.
yeah, no,
I
I'm
do.
not minimizing
just-
that either.
Yeah.
Because it ain't no joke.
Yeah.
But I just don't, and I refuse to let things take over me.
Right.
I get a grip, and I try to positively move forward. Positivity is the key with me.
Yeah.
I don't do negativity. I can't stand negative Nancy's.
Yeah.
Everything is, a down situation. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It takes you to a bad place.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people say I smile a lot. I'm always smiling. I have to, because if I don't,
Absolutely.
life is not the same. So she's going to tell us.
Wait,
how.
do you even remember the question at this point?
Well, it was a few things.
I was like, do you even remember the question?
You can re-ask it if you don't mind.
Okay. So basically what I was trying to say is people who can't get past trauma is said to be experiencing a level of PTSD. And when you have a client like that, okay, and I mean, this Samantha who has done well with dealing with her issues, and then you have me who on the other end of the spectrum, just would have rather die than deal with it. How do you even begin to approach that? What is the first thing you say to someone who walks in and says, you know what, this happened to me and I can't take it anymore. I don't want to dream about it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to walk around with this scarlet letter on my chest because this has happened to me. I'd rather die.
Okay. So, I can definitely relate. I too am a survivor of sexual assault. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. So I have firsthand experienced the PTSD, the anxiety, the depression, the suicidal thoughts, and things like that. And I had to first, like what I had said before, first acknowledging it. First acknowledging where I am, like saying that I'm not okay right now, and it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
Because only when we admit that we're not okay are we open to being able to heal and to move forward. And healing looks different for everybody. We all
Absolutely.
handle traumatic experiences differently, and what's traumatic for one person may not be as traumatic for somebody else.
Right.
Absolutely.
And there's no normalcy of it.
Right.
So I would definitely, tell that person to, it's okay that, because I think when we get into, oh, I'm feeling like this and I'm having these thoughts and these experiences and there's something wrong with me. When we get too far out, that's like goes back to what you said, how we don't have to be overtaken by it.
Right.
Just acknowledging that, we're feeling this, but this is not who I am. This is what I'm dealing with right now, but this does not define me. So I believe, looking at it like that, practicing awareness, self-awareness, where if you are being triggered and you're starting to go to that place in your mind where you're remembering these things and it's starting to bring up all these negative types of feelings in you, being able to get to a place where there's nothing wrong with me experiencing these feelings, just addressing it and letting it pass. Because with every feeling, every thought, it all passes by. So if we try to I practice mindfulness, meditation, practice being still, getting present, so that I can separate my thoughts and feelings and emotions from what's actually happening right now.
Right.
And that's an everyday practice. It's an everyday decision to practice that and to give it to God and to work it out with God and to truly practice letting it go. It's no certain time frame for anybody to heal or to get
Absolutely.
better. And I believe that we'll have the scars. We can be healed and still have a scar.
Right.
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 So it's not that, we'll ever just completely forget about everything.
Right. I have a big scar on my stomach, that long, from a gallbladder surgery.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day, when they didn't have laparoscopic removal. So I'm, kind of old here. So I got a big, huge scar, and I just whenever I'm naked, it's there.
Yes.
I'm healed.
Right.
I'm healed.
Exactly.
But the scar is still there.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe that, after a while, the scar is going to hurt. It's going to hurt. If somebody pries at, if you get triggered, somebody poking your scar. It's going to hurt. But over time, as, as we continue to heal, because healing, I believe, is intentional. And, it's something that you have to work at every day. And if you stop, working at healing, working at growing, working at becoming better, you can get stuck in that place where you're no longer, addressing it. You're no longer, because I feel like you have to be intentional, because going through trauma, anything can remind you of it, and this stuff just happens. Like,
Yes.
so if
That's
you're not mindful of, I'm going to be tested today. I may be tested today. I may
Right.
be triggered today. So
Right.
like already being prepared, already putting on your full armor of God before you go out of the house. Some days you'll be more successful at it, some days you won't, but it's still like making a conscious decision to, okay, I didn't do that well today. I was a little emotional and a little, I was tripping a little bit today,
Right,
but
right.
I'm gonna try it again, and then as you continue that, you'll
And
get
I think
better.
one of the processes that are harder for people to move forward are the people that don't talk about it. If you can't acknowledge it, that it's real and it really is there, but you don't want to stay in it, you can't move from it. You have to you you got to talk about it. You got to and talk you could talk not to other people always. You have to spiritually guide yourself, and you can talk about it to yourself. You can say, "Yeah, I went through this, I went through that, and it happened and this happened and that happened, but God, please move me forward because I don't want to stay in this place. It's not where I want to be. It's not a happy place, and I want to be happy." Next day, say the same thing again. Next day, it's a process, but you have to acknowledge, like you said, you have to separate real from fake. Because even in trauma, there's not fake, but there's stuff that doesn't really matter in the trauma, and then there's stuff that's really mattering in the trauma.
Right.
So you have to separate those things and get past them, the best way you can. Yes.
Hey,
Hey, so we had a comment earlier talking about what you guys are talking about. You guys have a couple of guys in the chat. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, guys. Hey.
Hi,
Hi, guys.
Jermaine Wiggins, he said, not to downplay the things women endure. It's harder, and I don't know why, for men to let go. Whatever we do is buried, whatever it is. So, or at least try to do so. Sorry, I read that a little
Yeah.
I mean,
think that's
have you found that there's a difference in men and women and how they deal with trauma?
Yes, I definitely believe that men tend to not be as expressive in what they're
They're
going
not as
through.
emotional as we are.
Right, and it's like there's a pressure on them to be the strong ones, be the men, have everything all together.
Yeah,
But they need an outlet as well.
Right.
True.
That's just like in the military. They'll tell you women don't go to war because they don't want that emotional side of killing and, guns and different things going on with us that we have, because men tend to handle that better. And then you have the PTSD. All the men that
Right.
come home so sick mentally.
Because
Because
they're
they couldn't
holding
handle
in.
it,
Yeah,
or
and
they
they're
did
holding
handle it,
it
I
in.
should say,
Yeah.
but it's held in and they have no outlet. And yeah, men are different.
I found, like, in my line of work, with majority of the survivors I worked with weren't even adults. It was teenagers, women who went through assaults while they were children, and they're trying to move on and maybe trying to get married, or themselves want to have children and stuff like that. And what I found was, and I've experienced myself, was that there's a level of embarrassment that comes along with having to face or acknowledge it. You understand what I'm saying? I know for me, I couldn't acknowledge it because I felt dirty. I felt like I didn't deserve to live. I felt like I didn't deserve a happy relationship. I didn't deserve anybody to love me because I was stained. I felt disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's doormat and stuff. And I felt like that years.
Yeah.
I mean, majority of my life. I'm 50. And for 40 years I carried that. And it was devastating because the worst years were as a teenager, and when everybody was dating. It's funny, I had a boyfriend, but you couldn't touch me. You understand what I'm saying? The affection was not there, because I always felt fear. You know what I'm saying? It was always this feeling of if I said no, there would be a repercussion behind that. And I grew up with that. So it was difficult coming through other relationships, and when there were red flags in those relationships, that person was abusive, or he was even a tad bit aggressive. My reaction was, You know what I'm saying? It was to cower. It was to pull back. It was to kind of be like, okay, you got it. You know, different story now.
I was gonna say, when did all that
To the-
change? Because you be ready. You be ready.
Yeah, no, I mean it again.
You want her
40
with you when
40
you going
year
somewhere.
40-year process. You understand what I'm saying? And that 40-year process put me where I am now, and this is like the whole basis behind the Metamorphosis Women's Empowerment Initiative, because my whole thing is I had to learn that I had the power to say no. I can control my circumstances. I can control what happened to me. I can control my situations. You know what I'm saying? Even down to I don't have to stay awake at night because I'm going to have bad dreams. If I have a bad dream, I'll just wake up and it'll be over. You know what I'm saying? But for a long time, I couldn't wake up from it. I had to live it. You know what I'm saying? And it feared me. I had fear about it. And I know a lot of my clients, that's what happened with them. It was this, they would actually say, I feel embarrassed. I don't want nobody to know. I don't want my parents to know because they'll think it's my fault. Well, you're 8, 9, 10 years old. How is that your fault?
Well, that's the ignorance of a lot of adults.
Yeah.
So kids do
Not
feel that way.
not the adult so much, but the survivor themselves.
Right.
Well, yeah, no, I had that situation. I learned how to suppress a lot young because of that, because I needed to suppress what was going on with me, happening to me. And I felt always that it was my fault if I said something and everything falls apart.
Right.
If my family falls apart, it's my fault because I told, So I kept all of that inside. And even till this day, I keep a lot inside as well because it's in me to do that. But there's a lot of stuff I don't keep inside so that I can get past it.
Right.
So, it's always an experience, just like, verbal abuse is the same thing. If you've experienced verbal abuse, that does the same traumatic effects as a physical abuse. People think that it doesn't, but it does.
I think that can be worse.
I
The
think it can
verbal,
be
the
worse too.
emotional abuse.
I do too. I
You
think
can
it's
heal
worse.
real quick from a scar.
Yes.
From a
beat
bruise.
down.
But the emotional, the verbal, that's what can stick with you.
The longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Well,
But-
it's like part of my research, which is I showed you, and it actually suggests that verbal abuse, and if it's constant, and severe enough, that too can create post-traumatic stress syndrome, equivalent to people being at war.
Yeah.
Now, my husband, he is a below-the-knee amputee, so he does have phantom pain. And in the hospital, they used to tell me, he's going to get depressed. They wanted to give him medication right away, and he refused it all.
They're quick to give
And
you medicine.
quick to give you medicine. But he told them, no, I'm not. It's a mental thing, phantom pain. It's mental, so you have to mentally work through it. And he chose to do that, and that's what he does. Until this day, that accident was in 1995. Till this day, he has phantom pain still. Not every day, but mostly around the time of the accident, which is real weird. But, he has the phantom pain, and he literally holds his head. He works through it. He gets all types of pains, all types of shooting pains every now and then, pains that wake him up out of his sleep. But he got me, so that always helps. But he does. He works through it, and it's hard. But like men are different from women, so me, I'm in pain sometimes. I'm like, having a heart attack. Help me. But
I'm not a crier.
I don't cry. I don't cry.
No. I mean, I'm not a crier. If I'm crying,
There's a problem.
oh,
That's me too.
girl. And I only cry for two things.
You're gonna tell
If
it?
you piss me off
Oh God.
to the point where I want to kill you,
gonna
and
cry?
not in a literal sense of the word, but
Please don't incriminate yourself.
it's kind of like it's sort of like, that point where I'm like, ooh,
there she go. There she go.
okay. Yeah, give me a good argument and I want to grab somebody by the throat, you will see me cry then. Only because if I'm feeling like that, that's bad. That's not good.
Right. Right.
No,
You
that's
know?
true. It's
No,
true
it's-
because I'm not a crier
Yeah,
either. So if I
but
cry,
if I'm there,
I'm trying to convince you that this is serious.
yeah,
And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I broke my ankle. I didn't cry. I said, we're going to need to go to the hospital. I did something to my ankle. I know that I did. My husband, my son was like, no, you didn't. Nothing's wrong with your ankle. I said, because y'all weren't there. I said, my ankle popped out. I pushed it back in. I got to go to the hospital because I know it's something wrong. No, just ice it. You just, what did he tell me? I rolled it. You rolled your ankle. I was like, I didn't roll my ankle. I said to you, my ankle
Because
popped
wait,
out.
how do you
I
roll
fell
your
on the
ankle?
floor. So, that basketball thing, they
Yeah.
roll their ankle or something. I don't know. So,
yeah, I'm just
he's just telling me, I said, look at I didn't want to look at it. And look at it. Is it swelling? I thought, My husband was like, no, nothing's happening to it. We need to just go ahead inside and put some ice on it. I started to cry. I said, these mofos is not trying to take me to the hospital. They didn't want anything to be wrong with me. So they was trying to take care of me themselves. I was like, nah, not today.
Right. I need a
So
hospital.
and then when my husband saw me cry, he said,
Oh, this is serious.
we got to take her because she don't be crying.
that's
But yeah,
that's
when
the
I
only
don't
other
cry
time
either.
you'll catch me crying. But at the point I'm crying in pain, because I will deal with pain. I will take meds when it's excruciating, okay, and I just absolutely can't take it anymore. And you'll know when I can't take it anymore because I become 4 again. And
4 years old.
Yes. And I will ball up and let out this ear-piercing scream because I've been holding it for so long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what I find is that I do that mentally also. When my head is just hurting because stuff is being thrown at me and I can't, it's just so much that I can't deal. You know what I'm saying? I will cry just from being stressed because I'm like, I feel like, a rat in the corner. It's like, okay, which way am I going? What am I doing? How am I getting out of this? And I feel like I can't get out of this, and I think that's what happens with people in traumas, that they feel like they can't get out of those situations. They can't get away from it, and I know people say you can, but for some people they can't.
They can.
It's
That's the thing. They really, really can.
But-
They don't believe it. They don't believe it because they haven't done it yet. So they've been stuck in the process of saying they can't because it's hurting so bad. But like you said, you really can. You need that. Everyone doesn't know how to meditate, but you don't have to know how per se. You need that moment of silence and peace to acknowledge the reality, acknowledge what's happening. And if it's something that already happened, tell yourself it already happened. It's not happening now.
Right.
I'm just feeling bad about it. So you need to walk through. It's a process again.
it
Some
takes
people
time.
really
It
need to
takes
seek
time.
help. They
Yeah.
can't do it alone.
Exactly.
Everyone cannot do that process alone. It's too
Exactly.
painful and
Yeah.
it hurts, and you need another person to even console you,
Yeah.
to even help you cry it out,
Yeah,
to
to
help
validate
you
you.
validate. Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the first step down the yellow brick road?
I should have been a
to
doctor.
healing?
I should have been a
Right.
doctor. I'm sorry. I'm just praising myself over here. Go ahead. I'm full of trauma. I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
So,
I get it.
you know.
I get it. Whew. Okay. So
First step.
first step down the yellow brick road to healing.
Yes.
and getting past this because we want to live our best lives.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm doing.
Right.
So where are we going? What's our first
Take
step?
some notes anyway.
Out the door. What's our first step out the door?
So the first step is definitely identifying where you are, identifying that you need healing. Next, identifying that you want to be healed,
Absolutely.
that you need it, that you want to be healed, and seeking help. Because a lot of times,
We don't.
just right, we don't. A lot of times, there's still a stigma around mental health. But mental health is something that we can't ignore.
It's true.
Just like if we were to
Absolutely.
ignore our physical health, we end up having physical illnesses. If you ignore your mental health, you can have mental illnesses.
There you go.
And when you seek help, you mean professional it's not psychiatric, but psychological counseling. Because some people run to the church.
Yeah.
When we say spiritual healing, I ain't trying to tell you to run to the church.
Right.
That's a within thing.
Yeah.
It's not the preacher's not going to
Right.
save you, heal you.
Right.
But
No,
for
I'm
some
not-
people,
No,
it does.
No, you go to church for whatever you go to church for. That is not going to heal you per se. You need help,
Yeah. And I think some
psychological help.
some churches are
I ain't bashing the church, y'all. Sorry.
some churches are what is it?
Equipped with
Incorporating
Yeah.
They are.
mental
Yes.
health,
They are. That's correct.
becoming more
Involved in
educated
it.
on it
Because that's
a
what
lot
you
of
need.
people are dealing with mental health and that strain, and it's not that it's a mental illness. We have
Right.
to accept
It's not a
we
mental-
all have mental health. We all have to attend to
our mental health.
our mental state and our mental well-being.
Absolutely.
But it's not the same as having a mental illness.
Right.
So I think a lot of churches are, evolving to that point of addressing mental health. But I do agree that you can't necessarily just put God on it and say, "Oh, I'm healed and I'll be okay," because God is a healer. God is a healer,
He
definitely.
is. Definitely.
But we still have to take our part in the healing process.
Right.
Absolutely.
We're doing the work as well.
We have to do the work. The work is what's important. The inner work, the inner healing work, and that is being more spiritual as far as connecting with God on a deeper level, and really bringing God into what's going on inside of us, and not like kind of coating over it. But no, healing is a ugly process. It's not pretty.
Right. That's right.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It doesn't feel good.
Right.
But it's something that's very necessary to move forward.
And that's where that saying comes from. What is it?
Let go.
Let go and let God.
Yeah. Because you do have to strip yourself
Yeah.
of the things that is holding you back. And sometimes there's a fear. There's a fear of, if I let it go, then what?
Yeah.
Then
Where will
I
be?
don't have anything else to blame. I don't have now. Okay, if I strip me of everything, then now I don't have an excuse to be hurting. I don't have an
And
excuse
you don't
to be
want the
upset.
excuse.
But some people
Hold on to that.
some
pain.
people
They
hold
hold
on
on
to
to
that
pain.
pain because it
comforting.
validates. It validates that feeling. It validates that hiding. It validates not wanting to be
But see, that's the error.
No, you can't say it's an error because I don't think it's
You say it.
I don't think it's fair to say that someone who is a recluse, you know what I'm saying, and hiding behind that, there's an error. I don't think there's an error there. I think it's just a matter of some people are afraid to let it go. Because
That's
in letting go,
process.
you now
That's
have to go. Now you have to take responsibility for moving forward.
Right.
And that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? To face what it is that can come now from me letting it go.
Now, she said in the beginning, when you acknowledge the pain, she speaks to people to ask them, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be after all of this pain? And she works with them through that. You have to acknowledge what's going on and strip yourself. Holding on and saying that's a crutch and that's a reason why you're hurting and you're angry, that's where the problem is. That's where the error, I'm using the word error, it may be the wrong word, but that's where that all is not good for you, is lying, because you do have to face the good. Some people are scared of good. So you have to understand, which one do you want, the good or the bad? If you stay holding on to the bad, you ain't never going to see the good. You got to venture out into the good. After you let go and you take away and strip yourself of all that hurt and pain, here comes the good. It might not feel good in the beginning, but it sure ain't going to feel like that pain. So you have to want to go there and venture out into that new feeling. And that's difficult.
But we can't negate someone's fear.
It's not negating.
Yeah,
It's not negating.
You have
You're
to,
going to work with someone and go through it all. You're
but
not
you
negating
still
it.
have to acknowledge that they may
Feel this
not
way.
be ready. You know
Right.
what I'm
No,
saying?
that's
the,
true.
The thing
That's true.
is
Very
that
true.
people have to learn you can forgive yourself. Okay? I had to learn that it was okay for me to forgive myself
Right.
for not fighting back. It
Right.
was okay for me
And
to
you may
forgive
not have been able
myself.
to, which is true.
Yeah, but at the time when you're going through it,
Yeah.
you're not.
I've been through it, so I get you.
Yeah, you're not thinking of, coulda, shoulda, wouldas.
No, you're not.
You're thinking
It's your
I
fault.
did not.
Right.
Right.
And
You know
I
what I'm
didn't.
saying?
I
So-
used to not stay up, but I used to think, I'm going to have to fight this man. If I don't know what, if he does something, I'm going to be in here fighting. I'm going to have to get something. I'm going to kill him. Nothing ain't happened yet.
Right. That's how I.
But I was
work.
already
On
ready
defense,
and defense.
ready.
Yeah, ready. Am I going to get to the phone? What am I going to?
Right.
So
It's that fight or flight.
fight or flight. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think utmost bottom line, and you can tell me, if you agree. I think the bottom line is, in a situation where you're trying to get past a traumatic event, first you have to, like you said, acknowledge. And secondly, forgive yourself for whatever part you think you played in that situation.
Right. That's important.
It wasn't always your fault.
Right.
And if it was your fault, then own it and say, I messed up. I made a mistake. How can I get past this?
Right.
How can I make it right? And then third, just look for the red flags. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep repeating the same cycle if
Exactly.
possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look for the red flags and acknowledge those red flags. And realize that tomorrow there's going to be another sunrise. There'll be
That's
another
true.
sunrise tomorrow
Yep.
and
Yep.
stuff. And so, you know what? What do they say? Joy comes in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Joy comes in the morning. And it may not feel like it, but you have another opportunity to look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The key is having a hope.
Right.
Having a hope. And I work with a lot of people who are suicidal, things like that. And what they tell us is to, even if I have a client that they just love having a cup of coffee.
Right.
Remind them that tomorrow you're going to have your cup of coffee. And even if it's something as simple as that,
Yeah.
you have something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's
Absolutely.
important.
I agree.
Well,
It's been lovely going through this pain and
wow.
anguish.
Sabrina, I can't even begin to thank you.
Yes, thank you. You
for
were
sitting with
wonderful.
us tonight in the cafe. I don't know if the rest of our guests in the cafe expected this deep of a conversation.
We
But
didn't expect this deep of a
Yeah.
conversation.
Right, but
But it needs to be talked about.
yes,
Yeah.
It needs to be talked
absolutely,
about.
absolutely. And one of the things I did put up in the group was that if our mental is not right, your physical is not going to be
Exactly.
right. You know what I'm saying? Because your head has to be right, and everything else will
And
follow.
vice versa.
And
Exactly.
vice versa. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to take care of all of us. We can't just do, our arms. It's like working out. We can't just work out our arms and just our legs. We all go for the core right here.
That's
we all
right.
wanna,
'Cause,
do
I gotta
the middle,
be,
but
I gotta
nothing
be
else.
mentally ready for this
You-
new
you
body
know
I'm
what
about to
saying?
have.
Right.
But the complete person. We have to take care of us completely from head to toe.
Right. Mind,
You
body,
know,
spirit.
and
That's what I like.
Mind, body, spirit. Okay.
Absolutely, mind, body, spirit. And Sabrina, we thank you for coming. We hope you will come back and join us in the
Did you have a good
cafe
time?
again.
I did. Thank you. for
Good.
It
having
wasn't
me.
too stressful, was it?
No, it wasn't as stressful.
We
as
didn't
I
pull your
thought.
brain too hard.
No.
And for those of you out there watching, we just want to say to y'all, there's a fine line. Oh, actually, I'll just read it. Okay? And it's a proverb from Eckhart Tolle. And it says, there is a fine balance between honoring the past and losing yourself in it. You can acknowledge and learn from the mistakes you made and then move on. It's called forgiving yourself.
Yes.
Amen.
Powerful.
Understand, this is not your forever. It's just your today.
Right.
Okay? And tomorrow, there's an opportunity for something new. We love y'all.
Thanks for
Stay
tuning
safe.
in, guys.
Yes, thanks for tuning in, and we will see y'all next week, Thursday,
Like and share our
in
show.
the cafe.
Watch it again on YouTube. Do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely. We love you.
Thank you.
Bye.